Who would be a Wolves fan, eh?
On goes Bull. Speedball might yet win it here for Wolves. Blasting the shot. What a goal!
Good evening, good morning, hello everyone, whenever you're listening to this wonderful Wolves Fancast preview show, part of the 90 Min Football Network. Yes, the rare occasion that it's me, Stu, hosting tonight, because Danny's got a few sniffles, so he's cried off. So let's not beat around the bush. This is the truth. We are here as truthful beings, of course. With me tonight is Jafo and Josh. Have you come back down to earth yet? From the weekend?
No, no way.
I know you're a smiley personality anyway, Josh. But I know me and Jafar talked about it on Sunday. But can you just go over the feelings of elation in your body at full time? Oh well, it was 2 minutes to full time. Let's just say that.
I don't know. It was something that I feel like I hadn't experienced in ages. I don't know. Like Wolves have beat big six teams, but we've never battered them like that, and it was just so, and it was crucial. You know, Everton just beat Arsenal. You're thinking pressure's right back on, but I just 5 minutes. You know, 2-0 up as well. I was like, they're going to come back to us now. You know, we're going to pay for this second half, but we kept in there. Don't really give nothing up, did we? And the goal was just the Neves goal was like the ultimate. I mean, that's the best moment. Oh, it's up there with one of the best moments since we've come back to the Premier League, isn't it? Like you could argue Doherty against City, maybe, but that's up there in like the top 3 or 4 for me.
Yeah, easily. And go on. What was you going to say, Jafar?
No, just agree with him. It's up there. It was special. It felt like the beginning of Lopetegui's like real reign, and everything seems to be moving forward now, and it seems like the ghost of Lars is dying slowly.
I mean, with every passing week that goes by, that man looks like an absolute cancer on this club. And
worse than that.
I know we've gone over it over and over again, but since you brought him up, from a relative point of strength as well, and then you had the Hoover thing, to blow up so spectacularly and ruin everyone as he did, it's just remarkable. And like, he doesn't get mentioned by anyone, does he? All the jobs that have come up recently, and more than likely on Sunday morning as well. Well, they were in for him, weren't they? Remember? So,
did you see what he said yesterday in an interview?
He's talked to someone.
He said the day he got sacked by Wolves, a Premier League team approached him.
No, what was this on?
Is it Transfer Market or something like that? I'll see if I can get the interview and I'll link it to you. But he was on there and he said the day he got sacked, someone else went in for him. Might have been Southampton, might have been Forest, because at the time they was looking for new man, like as in there was on the edge sort of thing, Hasenhüttl and Cooper. So it might have been one of them too.
Well, I'm sure Southampton would link with him at some point before we appointed him. So it wouldn't surprise you, would it?
Could very well be. No, could very well be.
I mean, forgetting Bruno Lage and the farce that he is, talking about another farce and what kind of happened in the week since the Liverpool game. Have you been surprised, you felt by it all? Because we had Klopp throwing his toys at the pram as he will, and like he had a proper moan up today again, and talking about how he doesn't like doing interviews because it's not fair, because they ask him actual questions when they lose, and when everything's all rosy, they just want to talk about how dominant they are. But other than the Totally Football show that I've listened to anyway, it's all been about Liverpool, which you understand, but at the same time, it seems a bit over the top and a bit like Wolves don't matter.
I mean, I look at it from a different point of view. I don't mind that they don't talk about us, because I'd rather them not talk about us. I'd rather what we do go under the radar, you know, and we keep surprising teams the way we did against Liverpool. And at the end of the day, I mean, you just got to look at it from a cult a financial perspective. Liverpool have a lot more fans than us. They've got a lot more reach. If they talk shit about Liverpool, they're gonna get more interactions. If it's talk sport, they're gonna get more phone calls. They're gonna get more traffic to their pages. So they're doing it for financial gain more than anything, and reach. But because we haven't got that sort of outside of Mexico and Italy, because we're massive there. We haven't got much. Comparative to Liverpool, so it doesn't really surprise me. I'm not really bothered. Like I said, not too fussed.
I mean, you're kind of used to it now at this point. I mean, it was more a case of like Everton got all the praise, and where, they beat the team top of the league, but still, Everton. I know Everton is probably bigger than Wolves in a traditional sense, and obviously it's the Dyche effect and everything like that. But I think, like Josh said, the size and magnitude of that victory just seemed a bit too big to just brush under the carpet of Liverpool being shit again. But maybe that's
I think also though, I think it was a case of the poor run of form Liverpool have been in, but it's also really annoying because you've got, I don't know if you saw it, is it the lad who does the team of the week on BBC Sport? Is it Gareth Crooks or something like that? Yeah. And then he put, is it Neves in his team of the week and proceeded to talk just about Liverpool. It's annoying and stuff like that because it feels like we didn't get the praise we quite deserved for how well we played. And I think we was brilliant. If you'd have watched, if Newcastle or Everton had put that performance in against Liverpool, they'd have been, fantastic. Everton, brilliant. But what can you do? I'd rather take the 3 points than all the headlines.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And I mean, since you've only just gone through puberty, Josh, you wouldn't remember the glory days of Garth Crooks when he was actually on TV. And the man has never spoken a sensible word in his entire life as a broadcaster. He's very. He used to be on. But he used to be on. He used to be like prime on Football Focus, wasn't he? And
who is he?
He used to.
Is he like an ex-footballer?
Yeah, he used to play for Spurs. Was it Spurs?
I think so. Yeah, one of the Chelsea, wasn't it? Yeah. Someone.
He's just a very strange man.
And so never all I know him off his final score and stuff like that.
Yeah, if you go, I'm guessing the Garth Crooks compilation videos are available on YouTube to go and have a laugh at. Because he was one of them where when he's team of the week, he's just that. It's just ramblings of a madman, but in print rather than coming out of his mouth. But we're not talking about Liverpool anymore, are we? They're to the past, the next 3 weeks anyway. Let's talk about the form team of the league. Southampton. And where do you even start? What did you think of him before he went there, Jafel? Because you're more clued up on these things from a scouting point of view than both of us here. At Luton, he seemed like he had an idea what he was doing. And this is Nathan Jones, obviously, we're talking about. Yeah. Has he completely lost the plot?
I think, he's obviously got an house, and I respect him for taking the job at Southampton. It was probably not the right job at the right time. You look at it, you look at what he's doing. And in the transfer window, he had a good transfer window. He signed some very, very good players. He's taking no risk because they come from the Belgian league and they come from Liga. But they've done well, and as a club, they've done really, really well. But the problem is, compared to Southampton to Luton, is that he had a lot more control at Luton over who he could bring in player-wise. At Southampton, like most modern-day Premier League clubs, is done by a transfer consortium. And a bunch of people make that decision. It's one of those. They've done well with it in the past, but he's willing to spend money. And you got to look at Southampton from a different point of view now, because they're still in this weird transitional ownership. Because the original owner, we've got to remember, did die, and he got passed over to his wife, and that never really got flattened out. And she's not really interested in football, so the investment really ain't there. But yeah, to circle back to Nathan Jones, he's a very good coach, but he seems to have just gone feeling the stress of it. And I mean, Josh talks about interviews with coaches and stuff earlier, and then Nathan Jones has done one today saying he could have had a normal life. He could have married a Welsh girl and
I think I saw that. Yeah,
been a PE teacher. I was like, "What are you on about? Celebrate what you're doing, man."
I've got that quote here. I'm not doing the accent because they'll come at me, won't they? I could have stayed in a mining community, been a PE teacher, and had a nice life. Married a nice Welsh girl, beautiful. I don't. I want to test myself on every level, and that's nothing against Welsh women. I want to test myself. What the fuck's that about?
It's bizarre, and like it is ramblings of a man who's completely and utterly stressed out. You know, he seems like he's not in control. It seems very similar to, I don't know, the spirit. We could mirror the way we were when Sellers was here, and at the end of the lager reign, and when you saw like the tactics board and stuff like that. It just seems to be mirrors. At Southampton, he doesn't seem to be totally in control of the way that team set up and played. And
well, I don't
think he's throwing his toys out.
Nathan Jones, he was at Luton, wasn't he? Then did he go to Stoke? Yeah, he went back to Luton. I think sometimes some people just fit clubs, don't they? Like they just fit certain clubs and certain like regimes, and I wonder if it's the same thing. But what I understand is why did Southampton pick him? Like, surely there was far better options out there.
It was a cheaper option, I think. I think the options out there was just the salaries that would have been on offer, and people would have come in and said, "Okay, I want guarantees of this much transfer budget." And he didn't really have too much push, you know. It's very similar to, like you say, being a phase that fits. You could arc back to when Eddie Howe was at Bournemouth originally, and he left to go to Burnley, and it just didn't work out for him, and went back to Bournemouth. Great again. Well, as great can be.
It's just one of them, isn't it? Like, you look at him, and I think they've established themselves in the Premier League, and they've had a few different managers, and they're not a bad club, are they? They're just, I think if they lose to us, I think he will get the sack. But then, where do they go then? Do they go, they've just spent all this money, are they going to go Flock and an Allardyce type, or are they going to order another progressive manager? It's really hard to say, but they've only picked up like 3 or 4 points since he come in, and he's got one Premier League win. So it's all set up for them to beat us 1-0 tomorrow, right, really.
I mean, some of the stuff that he's coming out with, I know a few people mentioned it, especially last night. I mean, Danny Peace put it in the comments here, so I'll bring it up here. It's madness. I knew I wasn't brilliant as a player, but I was the fittest human being in history. I thought, I'm going to cling onto this dream and get as high as I can. Now, I mean, thinking? Yeah. And that was that was last night, so that you're guessing that was to the Southampton Echo, I think, that one.
Hasn't he froze a lot of players out as well, though? Like, he's a lot of the foreign players, like that. I don't know if you saw, is it the midfielder who signed from Man City? Is it Lavia?
Yeah,
he was in like a Jones out Twitter space the other day.
Yeah.
So, and I just think it's a bit of a mess there. So, what do you do? Got to sack him. Yeah. He's got to go, Franksy.
Gotta go. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
after tomorrow.
I mean, talking about tomorrow. I mean, his actual information here. From a Southampton point of view, we've got a pretty strong bit of health. Everyone's a bit more up to speed. Walker Peters and Stuart Armstrong are a lot further along. It's about putting them into games when they're ready. And on, I don't know, Sulemana and Onuachu, we didn't start them last week because they'd spent more time in a passport office than on the training pitch. That was the logical and right decision to make. Again, do you spend more time in a passport office? It just seems all very odd, doesn't it?
All very contrived, isn't it now? He's the other end of the delusional scale to Klopp. He's trying to think of ideas to try and help him, get his team playing and stuff. Whereas the other one's deflectionary. But It's tough. It's hard, and you get a lot of it when they come in and they've got to get work permits, and it's back and forth, and now and it's bureaucracy. It's frustrating if they can't get involved in training, but it's not really an excuse, is it? If they're good enough footballers, they've been playing. We're halfway through a season. They're fit. They've been playing for their other clubs. He could have used them. It's bullshit to me.
Yeah, and we look at the squad that started last week against Brentford, and out of them players, would you choose any of them?
What to play for us?
Well, yeah, you look at that team, and Bazunu, Bree, Bednarek, Salisu, Perot, Lavia. Who is that? Diallo, Ward-Prowse, Elianusi, Adams, and Edozie.
I'm a big fan of Perot, the left back. He's very.
What's
very
everyone's
good.
feelings on Ward-Prowse? I'm not sure. I think up until this season, I thought he was quite an average footballer who could take a set piece, but it was one of them. Would I take him in Wolves midfield? I don't know. I think he's not a bad player, but I'm interested in what everybody else thinks.
He might be one of them, a bit like, United fans constantly have a go about, Neves isn't good enough because they don't watch him every week. He might be one of them where you literally need to watch him in the flesh every week to appreciate what he does, because he can't just be there for free. I mean, he might be there for free kicks, but you doubt very much that that's all he's got. He does seem. Well, you see games just watching him on telly where he does dominate occasionally, and when that happens, he looks excellent, but it doesn't happen very often. I just don't know what he is. I don't, and more than anything else,
that's what I think as well. He never seems to play in a system like where you watch him, you think he stands out there. He's had a couple of different managers now. It's like, I don't know. You feel maybe the set pieces are good for him, but also work against him. As in, because all I look at and think set piece merchant.
Yeah, and when then about Lamina as well. When Lamina, I think it was on one of the Athletic podcasts in the week that they were talking about Lamina at Southampton, and he said when he was there, he was like 6th or 7th choice in central midfield when they had the players who went to Liverpool and wherever else. But Ward-Prowse was playing like as an attacking midfielder then. I don't remember that ever being the thing when he's ever played as an attacking midfielder. So, and he just seems, I don't know. It's a curiosity. I mean, you look at that midfield, and all being well that Lamina's fit for tomorrow, and you look at that and you think, well, there's nothing to worry about. It's the Jafo.
I mean, I don't want to go too heavy on it because it's invariably to Wolves. It'll come back and bite us on the arse. But yeah, like you say, you've got to look at it and you say who'd get in our team, and really, there's not many there that did even come close. I think somebody said in the comments, Shay Adams. Yeah, Shay Adams is probably a good hard worker. Probably offer a little bit more than Jimenez in the squad, but that's about it. There ain't a lot there, and that's that. If I was a Southampton fan, I would be worried.
Yeah, there's not much to.
I
not much joy down there.
I don't know. I think they're nailed on to go down. Maybe not nailed on. I think Bournemouth are more nailed on, but I think they're going to be one of the three, aren't they?
They look doomed at the minute. But then we've said that. We said that Everton were doomed, and then Dyche comes in and he's going to do his miracle act, and they'll be fine. I don't know. And
I'm still not sure on that yet.
Well, you'll all be proved wrong, won't you? Again, and I'll be proved right, and then you'll all have to bow down to me, and then you'll all have to admit you're wrong.
So
I'm not the biggest Dyche hater, but
I ain't slagged him off once.
No? I don't.
I know who has. I've seen this. I've seen the messages.
The sense of, they're all screenshotted. They ain't escaping it all.
He's got the he's got the tapes.
Talking about getting the tapes. we ain't got that kind of show. Not before 9 o'clock anyway.
We're on about Dirty Den again, haven't we?
I was going to say a thing about better not. And say Angela White was hospitalised for a work-related injury today. Is that what's happened to Dan? Who knows?
Who's that? I don't know. You're on a base.
Oh,
I do.
the look at how we've now gone back to him for the audio listeners. He's got a face as guilty as sin, right? And if you don't know who she is, you'll look up later and you'll know. So there we are.
That's a different kind of gold and black.
Oh dear. Well, she got her official injury was lockjaw, so poor guy. Onto the
Composure.
this is fact. This is fact.
Composure.
We're a news show as well as everything else. Albion's still losing 1-0, by the way. Lopetegui's press conference. Hwang being out for 4 to 5 weeks is gutting. And
No.
don't you laugh, Josh.
No, he had a good game.
I thought he'd probably had his best game for a long, long time, and then that happens to him. It's proper unfortunate. But that's the question. With him out, who do you start with?
Yeah, I mean that's the tough question now. Is Daniel Podence he's obviously top goal scorer at the club this season with Neves, both on the same. And Adama, okay, yeah, he got a good assist against Liverpool. It's the most effective he's probably looked under Lopetegui, but we all know the levels of consistency just ain't there with him. And it's going to be a different game against Southampton. They're going to sit in, they're going to be more compact. So, I mean, for me, looking at it, the way that Southampton are going to line up against us, Daniel Podence is going to offer more because he'll be able to play through the lines, play through a deep block. Whereas Adama's not going to be able to run and get his flows, put his crosses into, well, yeah, put it over the box, but yeah.
Yeah, he got away with that the other week on Sunday. There was a couple where, even during the bit of O'Lane at the end, where his ball was the one that went over the box and missed everyone, and we still kept possession of it. But it didn't matter because everyone was so happy. But yeah, that is the thing about him. I mean, I did have to kind of compose myself after Sunday, praising him so much. I did kind of have the shivers afterwards. I mean, it was, but he deserved it. He was excellent when he came on. He didn't mess up or do anything wrong at all. But then he hasn't started. Has he started a game under Lopetegui yet?
Question. Maybe one, but yeah, that might have been a cup game.
He started the 2 Liverpool games, didn't he? Again, in the cup.
Yeah. But he's not started a league game, has he?
No, I don't think
Unless
so.
it was City. No, City. Yeah, City.
Yeah,
right.
City,
yeah. And well, we got smashed 3-0, so it doesn't got nothing to do with Haaland being a god, but and us giving him goals.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, the other one, when Boubacar Traoré been 2 weeks away, he's a nice step up. And the fact that he's 2 weeks away and then and the young Prince João Gomez seems to be almost ready, and looking at the video that they put out in the week, would you expect him on the bench tomorrow, Jeffo? Because
yeah, I can't 100%. I can't see why not. He looks sharp. He looks ready. He looks like that pit bull that you know we all think he is. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I think he's going to get one of the biggest. When he starts his first game, he gets flying into that first challenge at Molineux. It's going to rapture us. And we're going to love it. So yeah, I think he probably could be involved. If it isn't tomorrow, it'll be the game after it's at Fulham or Bournemouth. But yeah, he'll be involved in the next couple of games, I would have thought.
Alex Richards said, didn't he, today, he expects him to get minutes if all goes well. So at least
it makes sense.
Yeah, especially to try and ease him in. But it's nice to have options again, isn't it? Like you think, remember before you'd have an injury at wing and you'd think, who are we going to play? Are we going to have to play auxiliary Dendonka there or something like that? And now, and like in midfield, it's like Troy has 2 weeks, so it's like, that's fine. You know, it's not like he's going to get in the first team anyway. Same with Gomez. Yeah, ease him in. No need to rush him because it's pointless.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the bench from the weekend, and it's an actual bench and not children.
And we had who got left out the squad then? There was Gomez.
Boubacar.
Yeah.
Traore.
Yeah, and obviously, Lord and Savior Diego Costa.
Yeah.
And
God.
Neto.
Yeah, well, Neto's another one. He seems to be in all the videos this week that they've been showing, and I mean, how long has he been out now?
It feels like forever. It feels like he didn't even come back last season, really. I think it's because of his pants, really. But you know what I mean? Like, he felt like he never come back. Like, obviously, he did after January and he was okay. He's lost that yard of pace, hasn't he? And then he come back this season, he won. I bet he was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think he was just rushed back. I think we were in that situation like back end of last season where we hadn't got any players. Like you said, the squad wasn't big enough. And, you know, we were always going to catch a cold with that eventually. We rode our luck under Nuno, and then as soon as sort of we swapped over to Lage, it just went out the window.
And as well, you've got this season who's playing under Bruno Lage, which is like a death sentence really for any attacker, isn't it? So,
well, he's playing under Bruno Lage, and well, talk about death sentences. I mean, there's a reason why he's gone. We mention him every week. Dr. Doom has gone. And talk about being rushed back from injury. I mean, we saw it. We saw all the stuff that was mentioned about the Sasha's medical that happened with that. The club never said that was a lie. Multiple people confirmed it to me, saying that it was true. So the state the club was in under that regime, it wouldn't surprise anyone, would it?
No.
I mean, it speaks enough that they've moved, so many people on so quickly following that regime change.
Yeah,
and the first thing Lopetegui says, and it's consistent in interviews, is the fitness isn't good enough. The players aren't fit enough. They aren't conditioned properly, and that's the one thing that we spoke about. Like, I think we spoke probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. We said, okay, is this defensive change going to keep happening? And when we first saw that Lopetegui came in, we saw Toti Gomez going on for like the last sort of 20 minutes of a game. So we said at the time, we said, okay, it'll probably only be a few games, and then once they start getting this conditioning and the fitness forward, then we'll have a game plan and we won't change it. And that's what we're starting to see now. We're throwing this last defender on because we don't need to, because they're fitter, they're more sharper, mentally resilient. When they're starting to look like normal footballers again.
Yeah, and there's no need to make all 5 changes either, is there? Because we don't have to change the fullbacks anymore, which is a minor miracle from what we've had for the last year and a half. Yeah. It's just, I mean, here's one in the comments, because I don't think we've really talked about it very much from Mike Evans here. What kind of midfielder is Joe Gomez?
I saw something. Did he say that thing on his Instagram that he put just before we joined, where it was like a comparison from his numbers to Busquets' numbers, and it was like identical. So it's like a Busquets type midfielder.
He's very tidy. Yeah, he's a pit bull with flair. I think he's the best way. A pit bull with makeup on, because
I like that.
Yeah, he's got the nutmegs in there. He's very press resistant, but he's hard as nails. He goes flying into everything. So all you need to do is just see him on YouTube, and you can see what he's all about. He's hard as nails, but it's what we expect from a combative Brazilian midfielder.
I think he's the Neves replacement, isn't he? Like, that was the idea. It's like, this is the time to replace Neves. Get one in early. I think. But when you look at like other teams, you look at like Man United with Casemiro, proper DM. You look at Fulham with Palhinha, proper DM. I think that's making a difference from, having that,
a little bit of
good quality. Yeah, that good quality midfielder. It's making the difference in the key moments. Yeah. Look, come on, boys. Love Island's on in a minute.
Yeah, there was for a bit of context for this little message here. that Josh apparently threw a bit of a paddy because we went on later than he was promised, and he now has to miss the start of Love Island and to tweet live about it. So, is your phone off? Is your phone off? Are you avoiding spoilers for it?
No, I'll just get in a bit and watch it.
Oh dear. I mean, to be fair, I did start watching this one, and I've watched the last 3. Just while vibing with me this time, just couldn't get into it.
I don't know. It's just too funny. It makes me laugh. How it's. I said before, I don't watch it for the people. I watch it to see how the other half lives. It makes me feel better about myself.
Yeah, that's
That's some weird therapy, Josh. But
You know, if that's why I look at it. It makes me feel better about myself. Like, you know.
yeah. There's definitely. I mean, that's kind of like why you watch The Apprentice. I mean, you mean like last night when you got who in their right mind thinks it's okay to give people 3 glasses of water when you take them to a team building operation in the desert, and then tell them that that's all they're having? It's just wonderful nonsense. Right, actually, back to the game. What do you expect the starting lineup to be the same, Josh, in the same system, or with where we had specifically Matthias closing down and ruining Trent's whole day? That was obviously almost sacrificed in that way. What would you expect going into this one? Because obviously we've talked about how bad Southampton are, how much of a lunatic the manager is, how much the fans all hate each other and hate him. Do we go there and take? Well, you only have to. They were booing him and wanting him out last week. The away fans at Brentford. He's only been there since October.
Have you seen him on Twitter in that like? I don't know,
that was amazing.
Jones
That was
in-out thing.
I mean, any official club correspondence, and they're putting Jones out en masse.
Just in everything. I don't know. I look at him. Surely, you got to take the game to him. Go 1-0 up, 10 minutes. Fans turn. You know, I think that's why you don't give him the chance to come into the game, do you? You know, and build up a bit of momentum and let the fans get on the side. You go for the throat. You know, if we could have another Liverpool, I mean, it's unlikely, but 2 goals in 12 minutes. Could you imagine it? I mean, St. Mary's is old Liverpool anyway, but there'd be like no people there. You know, so you just got to get an early goal and don't give them the chance, because momentum's a big thing in football. You saw it last week. You know, give them the chance to, because at the end of the day, as much as I hate the manager, if they go 1-0 up, they'll be singing and they'll be getting beyond the players, and the players will be thinking, okay, we're up for this now, so we need to try and quash any lingering hope that they've got and go, you know, get that early goal and let's go 1-0 up, and then it'll be an easy 90 minutes then, and we'll 2-0 second half, you know, we'll score a goal late in the second half and it'll be an easy win.
Yeah, I think that's you just go at them, no remorse. But that is a very valid point from Christopher Rogers in the comments. Who do you go for tomorrow, Jafel? Because Nuri came in and did fine. There was no issue with him, but Bueno has played out of his skin, and a 7 out of 10 as a young kid can give. So what do you do with that? Away, especially, but against a terrible team?
I think it's probably down to what you said about how we utilise Matthias Nunes. I think Nuri came in and was utilised because he offers a bit more of an attacking threat than Bueno. I know Bueno's good going forward, but he can be utilised as an attacking threat. And Matthias Nunes can cover a lot better on the left hand side than say a Pedence or Hwang if he was over there. So I think he probably will be Bueno tomorrow, because I think he'll probably go a little bit more for that early kill again. And I think if they have Pedence up front, he won't play in a 2. I think it'll be a 3 up top. So it's going to be probably Bueno for me for that. Like you say, I know he did well against Liverpool. Didn't put a foot wrong. He atoned for going off tired in the game when Herver came on. So he's atoned for his sins. But yeah, no, for me personally, Bueno probably.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I mean, I presume Dan's put this in Nuri instead of Hwang, playing on the left hand side. Maybe move Sarabia across instead of playing Pedence or Adama.
I would like the idea of like 2 left footers on the wings. You know, I'd rather 1 right footer. I think you got to start Adama. You can't play that well and then drop him, in my opinion.
But he's also Dharma, so that's.
I know, but
I'll gladly watch you play well, and if he just comes in and does well, I'll hold my hands up and say, yeah, well done. But I can't see it. I
do
consistency with
I
it.
do tend to agree, actually. You know, I'm not the biggest Adama fan, but I've got to say, I think he's impressed with Lopetegui. I think we've almost seen a different player to what's been playing before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's hard to describe, but I just feel like he's brought out another side to him.
There's
He
definitely
actually works
confidence.
a bit more.
I think there's definitely confidence come out. I think his main problem is his lack of flexibility, and I think you look at Sarabia and Podence. If they play as a pair, they're quite good because they can play inverted or they can play on their strong side. It just gives us a little bit more sort of flexibility against the side who's going to like sit in and try and defend the game, because there's no way they're going to like come for us and try and attack us even at home. You know, they're in such a poor run of form and such a poor state. You know, they're going to probably, you know, I hate to put that cliche in and playing for a draw, but that's probably what they will be doing. They'll probably be playing for a point. And I think we need ultimate sort of flexibility as possible. So Nuri, yeah, he's a good player as an option, but I think once again, he hasn't got that flexibility that Podence and the Sarabia partnership would have.
This is a good comment. How did Sarabia play last week? I feel like I saw him touch the ball for the goal, and then I felt like I never saw him again.
I thought
he was just tidy.
Yeah, I thought he did very much what he was asked to do and didn't mess it up. Like he was getting into. Yeah, I mean, he was getting into pockets, doing his job, and then just moving around, not losing the ball like Podence does. I think there's a comment here again from Christopher Rogers there. Why do you guys think Podence hasn't been in the lineup recently from the start? Been great under J-Lop, people, please. Since he's come in. And other than his stupid Megan Rapinoe hair, which is obviously an excuse enough to be dropped, he does seem.
You love it, really.
Don't
deny it.
No.
You'll come round to it. You'll come round to it.
If it wasn't associated with her, then I might accept it. But there's very few people I hate more on this planet than that woman. But that's by the by. I think Podence.
Yeah. It was just lowest injury when it Liverpool.
Yeah.
You get that.
I think when you look at when we go back to their defence again, last time out, Bednarek and Salisu, it's not the fastest, is it? It's tall and physical. But are they that mobile, really? I mean,
it's
know
nice
more about Salisu.
Options.
Yeah.
It's just nice to think Podence has been quite good under Lopetegui and he's not playing. You know, he's not starting every game. It's just nice to have options, and you look and go, like with Sarabia and stuff like that. I couldn't think of another Wolves player or like a winger that would pick out the pass that he did for the first goal. You know, it's just nice to have these little options and things like that. There, you know, we've got choice, and it doesn't just feel like, well, Adama's got to play this game, Hwang's got to play this game because we've got no options. You know, you can kind of see why Lopetegui had Sarabia as number one target, can't you? Really, maybe after Cunha, but it's interesting. You can kind of see why, if that's what he's going to bring more to the team.
Yeah, I think it's them two plus one more. I don't think he's going to draw Cunha and Sarabia. I think are nailed on starters for me. It's just interesting who the. I mean, we also got what happens if he's everywhere. Mario Lamina is not everywhere, and he's not there tomorrow. What suddenly do we? I know Martino had his little cameo for 10, 15 minutes, but he was good because that's all it was.
Yeah,
and. Do you start him and then bring him off and bring Hodge on maybe later on when the game's run? It's without Bouba Traoré or João Gomez completely fit. It's a bit of even though we talked earlier about how much depth we've got, it's a bit of a conundrum about how well he played that now he's a bit doubtful for tomorrow. And like in the press conference, he said they'll know in the morning. So I think that's more of a question for me than anyone else, because everything else is a bit much of a muchness apart from him because he was so excellent.
Yeah, he was brilliant, wasn't he? He's so good. That was one of the best Molyneux debuts I think we've seen for a while.
Oh, easy, yeah. It's just that's the attitude and application that you received from a footballer to come in and it's about being sensible and neat and tidy, but it's just the fact that it's just effort, and that's the one thing that we always ask as football fans, especially down at Wolves and that sort of like level that we are, is that we always expect and want players to give 100%. And I think the players who've come in, you've seen it. Craig Dawson absolutely put everything on the line against Liverpool, and well, as everyone is now stealing that tweet that went out originally, that about so much of the world's covered by water, and then Mario Lemina covers the rest.
That was a great tweet. That was.
It was a banger. So yeah, between them, it's great. It's great to see effort go with that sort of ability that we know that the players have got.
I don't just going back to the game. I feel like we keep going back to Liverpool, but I got to give props to Kilman. I wasn't too sure on him being the starter out of Collins, and I don't feel like Wolves Twitters give him enough plaudits this week. Obviously he's got to do it tomorrow, but I think he was fantastic. I think he was who scored Team of the Week. He was absolutely brilliant. He did, apart from getting done by the long ball for that Nunes chance, he did not put a foot wrong, did he? He was fantastic. And like I say, I thought Collins should get dropped for Collins should play rather than Kilman. And like I say, Kilman I thought was just excellent.
Yeah. I think there was one thing on Collins as well, how he seemed to be like people wanted his blood and 100 quarters for any kind of semi-mistake that he made. If he'd made that mistake that Dawson made, just the one thing that he did wrong, where he lost possession and he got the shot away, that was saved anyway. Would Collins have been crucified for that? Because I know Dawson scored, and it was the only thing he did wrong in the whole game, and obviously he hadn't played for a few weeks. But he could have led to a goal, and no one seems to have talked about it because how excellent he was otherwise.
It's individuals, isn't it? Individuals with agendas up against footballers, and it's Wolverhampton Wanderers Football Club. Let's not forget that. We've always got fucking scapegoats. There's certain reaches of our fan base and through social media who just are incessant on talking shit. and there are the people who disappear and reappear under different aliases, and it's a small percentage of people who just want to talk bullshit against people that they obviously don't like. So whatever.
Talking to people reappearing, have you seen that account who keeps having us to go down? Your man, he was like yesterday, he was like West Ham going to stay because they got a 60,000 stadium. I was like, Chief, what are you saying, mate?
Yeah.
You got to have pretty large bollocks to kind of say things like that, haven't you, Graham? Go life. So
I was waiting.
The bloke's if it is him, the bloke's a lunatic. He was on here. He was strange, man. But whoever you are, you're not going to listen to this anyway.
Stop it.
Just, I think the best thing to do. I haven't done it for a while, but just don't talk to him. Just don't interact with him. We'll put him up here so people know who he is.
It's funny seeing it though. It's just hilarious to see it though.
Yeah, but the best thing to do is look on Marksy Wolves. Look on Twitter. That's where his name is. If you're curious, just look how stupid he is. It's clearly a troll of some kind. Just don't talk to him. Just don't reply. Just look at it and laugh. The more you feed the bear, the hungrier it gets. And Cocaine Bear is out in 2 weeks' time, and that is a good film to everyone needs to go and see. That's the only bear we need to be feeding, not this lunatic, because he's tapped in the head. There's something wrong with him. So let's just all ignore him and just get on with our lives. So on that, score prediction, Josh. How many is it going to be?
2-0 Wolves.
Ooh.
Just the confidence. It's just what a difference a week makes.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but yeah, we'll give it till half time tomorrow when we've played pants and it'll be I'll take a point there. Point on the road, that'll do.
Jifo.
3-1.
Imagine Wolves scored 6 goals in 2 games. I think my head will
I know.
my head will
I'm getting excited just think about it. What's the death don't rise?
I mean,
we'll just go like 1-0 then inside the first 10 and just like lose 2-0 and be like, oh yeah, back down to earth.
Reality check.
This is the Premier League.
it was the place where the ghost of Raul Jimenez made an appearance, looking like his old self.
I might
last
have it
season.
tomorrow as well.
And
I might have Jimenez to score.
yeah, it's one of them, where he can't. Up until it comes to shooting, I didn't think it was as bad.
2-0 Blues.
What is he doing? Keeper. His keeper's come for a corner from across from the corner. Just got absolutely nowhere near it. Just headed straight in. There
I love going on Wolves Twitter when Baggies can see it. It's just like bong. All you see is
bong everywhere.
And it's like it's just now they've gone 1-0 down or they're losing or something like that.
I mean, more importantly, what's my Jama doing? That's what you really want to know, isn't it?
Well,
I'm gonna say 3-0 tomorrow. I just think they're so awful that we beat Liverpool 3 without really piling it on when we should have done in that first half. We actually created chances which we've moaned about for the best part of a year that we don't create chances to miss. And there were chances that were missed. One by Raul, one by Matthias as well. And that was against admittedly mid-table Liverpool at this point, but it's still Liverpool. And if we're creating chances against them, then there's no excuse not to be doing it against the shit that is Southampton. I can't see anything other than the battering tomorrow. And it doesn't have to be like 5 or 6 and with 70% possession. It just needs to be like even a comfortable 2-0 win.
Yeah,
where we're never in danger of conceding. I can't see anything other than that happening, to be honest. I think we should. Well, for the live viewers, we'll be back in 7 seconds after this little ad interlude, and then we'll come back and talk. Well, talk about the rest of the games in the Premier League this weekend, because there is a few interesting ones. I mean, Leeds Man United again, in the space of 4 days, and a quite devious quiz from Dan, which I got 10% right without checking the answers. So
I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, just don't be worried. Don't be worried. It's okay. There's a little game to play. There's no prize available. You can play at home.
Oh, just a loss of pride every time.
Yeah. It's only just
that's bottom of the barrel anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's just a little 5-minute game. Don't worry about it. So we'll be back in 6 seconds. And it was 6 seconds. So, rest of the Premier League this weekend. We'll put the game week up there. You've got the early game, West Ham, Chelsea, then on BT, and then you've got Arsenal, Brentford, the motorway derby rivalry nonsense that is Palace, Brighton, which is 3 o'clock kickoff. That I presume that was so evilly contested that that'd be 12 o'clock on a Sunday, but hey how. Fulham, Forest, Leicester, Spurs, and Bournemouth, Newcastle rounding out Saturday. What's your pick of them games, Jifo?
I mean, it's going to be obviously Arsenal, City. We're going to see if Arsenal are the real deal. You know, City might not be in great form, but this is going to be the one where it says, okay, are they going to pull through and further 3 points away? I mean, probably, yeah. I probably think they'll win the game, but it's intriguing. And the other one I'd probably pick is the Merseyside derby. Are they gonna? Yeah. Are we going to get an Everton-style atmosphere at Anfield when they get smashed by their close rivals? Maybe. I know I'd enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, but basically, you just ignored Saturday's fixtures and gone straight to Wednesday next week, which I hadn't even mentioned. But
yeah, it's fine. I just look at them; they're just screaming at me.
Yeah, so Sunday you've got Leeds, Man United, Man City, Villa. Monday you got the Merseyside derby, and then Wednesday night on Prime Video, Arsenal, Man City. Yeah, I think they're probably going to get the biggest viewership of all time for that game. Because what is
They
it?
picked an absolute doozy, didn't they, for that? Because that was rearranged for like the Queen's death, wasn't it? Something because Arsenal had to play the European game, but that'll be an absolute I think everyone will be watching that.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. I mean, you look at that. I mean, Brentford have been Arsenal's bogey side, but can you see them getting anything tomorrow? It's, I mean, all of it out of nowhere. The Emirates seems to be nice and loud and intimidating. And whenever they've got the little boys in black behind the goal and their little flags, pretending to be Polish and whatever, but it seems to work for them. And I've been to that. I mean, I went as a neutral when they played Mourinho's Porto years and years ago, and it was silent then. And that was when the place was new. And every time I've been since with Wolves, and it's just been silent. And even when they've inevitably scored against us, like they're scoring, that's it. There's no. I know it's against Wolves, and it's like us scoring against like Barnsley or whatever in the Championship for years. But still, it always seems to be one of them places where there was no atmosphere, and now all of a sudden, now they're good. They're amazing.
It was frustrating last season. I went last season, obviously, went 1-0 off, absolute silence, and then they scored them 2 late on, and it was just like you look back, and I think that was the kickstart for Arsenal, wasn't it? I know they had a poor end of season, but that was like a big moment for him, and that kind of kickstarted, I think, where they are now.
And in the same way, kind of kickstarted our decline as well, especially the second game.
Yeah, it was about a year ago now. We played them. I remember Molyneux. It was really frustrating, wasn't it? Because we just weren't good. But yeah, it was like that every game.
just so terrible.
I feel like Bruno Lage has just taken loads of indirects tonight. It's just like poor guy.
It doesn't even need to be indirect. We can look directly at the camera and tell the guy that he's everything you can imagine.
Obrigado, Blend.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that you look at the relegation fight though, which we're not in anymore, by the way. Yeah. West Ham, Chelsea. I mean, that Chelsea are what even are they anymore? They're a complete basket case with players all over the place, like Forest were earlier in the season. Fulham, Forest again. Would that surprise anyone if that's a draw?
That's got draw real over it, hasn't it? Like 1-1 draw.
And then you have the Eddie Howe derby rounding out tomorrow with Bournemouth against Newcastle, which is it the first time he's ever gone back there? I'm guessing it has to be.
Oh, could have been when he was at Burnley, might have done, but when he went, but that's about probably the only time. But I mean, that could be a tasty game. I mean, you got to look at it. Newcastle, although they're doing really well, they're in a great position in the league. Their goals have just started to dry up.
Yeah, started to falter a little bit, aren't they?
Yeah, and I think Almiron, whatever he might have been on at the start of the season to get him going. No, I'm only joking. That's no serious in that, but his form's returned to normality. Everything's sort of dropping to normality. I mean,
he just blew up, didn't he, Almiron? Like some of the goals he was scoring, like his XG and stuff. It was just like massively outperforming. But I don't know. I think like they're just good defensively, aren't they? They just don't look like conceding more than 1 or 2 a game, and I think that's a big thing. They only need 1 to win, or 1 to draw. We're still picking up points.
The fact that they don't concede anything hardly ever is it's just annoying more than anything else. Just because it's just him. Oh, since when was Craig Gardner Birmingham's technical director? That's going to blow my mind a bit. Just a bit of a tangent there. Yeah, just coming up on the screen.
Surprised Gary's not sitting next to him.
You see, there was another one where Kenny Miller was assistant manager somewhere. Yeah. I didn't know anything. What? Yeah. Where's that come from? I bet he had the same hairstyle as well.
But he probably scored goals.
He was still playing until he was like 39, 40, or something like that a couple of
He
years
probably
ago.
still scored goals in the Championship if you give him the chance. I say this like he was my hero. Like I think I was about I was like 1 year old when he scored against Man United. Like
Josh.
he's my heroes.
Oh. God. I feel so old.
Well, yeah. When you look at that,
I've got a Dorito shirt somewhere in my room. I should get it framed probably. Signed by all the players. I should get it. It's like I said, it's just before my era.
yeah, but you think when that actually was though, and it's like 20 years this year, 20-year anniversary from the playoff final. When Josh was literally shitting himself, and it was legitimately okay.
What do you mean? I still do.
As I was expected then, though.
Yeah,
I still do.
People didn't frown at you for wearing nappies then. If that's what you want to do now, then more power to you. Right, we've got Dan's. I mean, he does these things, and he put it in the group chat earlier saying who's hosting, and here we are. Thankfully, I don't have to do this one. And I expected something crazy. But then he sends this over. And you both have your hands where I can see them, yes? No phones. We played Southampton away in the League Cup of whatever name it was then. In the glorious Nuno year. Wearing that amazing sky blue money shop shirt. You know what I'm going to say?
Oh,
How many can you name? From either side?
From either side, oh my God.
From either side, we'll have... let's not make sudden death. We'll have three lives each. So, 23rd of August, 2017, this game was. Tuesday night. It was strangely warm as well, I remember, because I was there. In the corner as well. Yeah. It was really nice night as well. 2-0 win for Wolves. I think it's only fair. Jafel goes first.
Oh.
Any player either who started the game or was on the bench, I'll have either.
For either side?
From either side, yes.
El Yunusi.
El Yunusi. This was in 2017, remember?
I'm sure he was there then. Surely.
If he was there, he did not feature.
There you go. I knew it was going to be a bad one.
I think he scored the second goal, didn't he? Donovan Wilson.
Correct. Yes, he did. One of his, it might have been his only ever senior Wolves goal as well. Off the top of my head. Look at the anticipation on the face.
Just get fear. It's fear more than anything.
It's when you just go completely blank and then you look at it and you think. I mean, there's some players on here that I'm absolutely amazed. Played under Nuno.
Courtney Hawes.
Courtney Hawes. Jafo says Courtney Hawes.
Another X on the screen.
Which is very much an X.
Yeah.
I was going to do the Family Fortunes thing then, but I thought,
yeah. I already knew what was going to
happen. So two logs lost already. Yeah. On to you, Josh.
I'll take the other goal scorer, Danny Bath. Danny
Bath did start and score. Very good. 2-0. Third life, Jafel. I mean, I'm putting the squad up on the screen, and like it makes any difference at all. Both teams.
Yeah. Oh, fucking hell.
22 players on the pitch.
14
on the bench.
Yeah, I still won't get one. My brain's just all I'm focusing on is Southampton for some reason. My brain cannot focus on Wolves players. Fucking hell. I don't know. Doherty.
Matt Doherty.
Oh, it's done. It's over. It's over.
Did Matt Doherty play in the cup? No. No, he didn't.
There you go. It's all over. I told you.
Clean sweep. Just
Yeah.
for shits and giggles. Third one. Go on, Josh. Any more? For any more?
Right. The ones I can think of: Jordan Graham,
Jordan Graham, yes.
Connor Ronan,
Connor Ronan was on the bench. He came on. Yeah.
Dicko.
Noah Dicko, yes.
I should have hosted. Fuck this. Embarrassing.
I mean, the Southampton. Considering you're focusing on Southampton, this is appallingly shit. Considering we were talking earlier about how well they played with a certain set of players at a certain period.
That's about all I can think of. Jack Price.
If Van Dijk's in that fucking team, I'm gonna fucking punch myself.
Jack Price, yeah, played, started.
Sure. It would have been this. This might be a bold check. Did Des Landes play?
Sylvain Desland did start.
Oh God, I'm done.
Was that a centre back or full back?
I think he was fullback. Oh, no, no, he wasn't. Who played fullback was odd.
Trying to think. Did Ben Marshall play?
Ben Marshall started.
I think it's just the part-time players in that championship winning season. That's about all I can think of. Who was in goal?
Okay, Jafar, you giving up the game? You not playing anymore?
What's up? What do you want me to join in?
Toys at the prom?
No, I haven't thrown my toys at the prom. I'm going to focus on Southampton players. Fuck it.
Okay.
Bednarek.
Yes.
Okay, we got
Started.
one. There we go. We're done. James Ward-Prowse. There we go. I'm done. See you later.
So, okay, since let him stew over there and think of Southampton players for Wolves that day. Will Norris,
Danny, forgot about him.
Danny Bath, Ryan Bennett, who I'm pretty sure played right back.
Oh.
I think I'm not 100%. I can't remember.
I thought Graham would have played it right back.
Yeah, but in that kind of, I know he played because Bennett played right back at. He played at Bristol, wasn't it, when all the sendings off happened? But anyway, Bennett, Desland, Vinagre, Ben Marshall, Dangerous Dave Edwards, Jordan Graham, Jack Price, Ivan Cavallero, and Noah Dicko. On the bench were Harry Burgoyne, friend of the show, Connor Johnson, no idea, Pedro Goncalves, Connor Ronan, Dan Armstrong, Donovan Wilson, who came on, and Michael Zoro, who got booked.
Did we just spawn random youngsters for that game?
Yeah, I don't remember them two at all. Dan Armstrong, no clue.
Connor Johnson, Donovan Wilson. Like, I swear he was just some random kid at the academy and scored like a scrappy goal.
Yeah, see, he was right in front of us, wasn't he? When he came over, and
but both goals right in front.
Yeah, because it was second half.
So, yeah.
So for Southampton, I mean, this team looks amazing just on paper. Fraser Forster, Jan Bednarek, Jack Stevens, Maya Yoshida, Sam McQueen, Jeremy Pied, I think that's how you say it, James Ward-Prowse, Sofan Bofal, Oriol Romeo, Dusan Tajic, and Charlie Austin. And we beat them with that team.
How did we beat them?
We played well as well, remember? When we battered them, and I think they got booed off that night as well.
Who was the manager?
Oh,
Would it be
Pellegrini?
Or Pua? Oh, probably Pellegrini, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Might have been.
If I get that right, then I'll take that.
I mean, their bench was Alex McCarthy, Cedric Suarez, Ryan Bertrand, Stephen Davis, Nathan Redmond, Manolo Gabbiadini, and Shane Long. So, we managed to batter that team, and we were comfortable winners. And I remember, there you go. That was the that game where there was a video of Wolves fans in the Southampton fan TV afterwards saying, "Oh, we're going up" and all this stuff straight after the game. Obviously, transpired that would be the case. So it's. I mean, that's a failure. I mean, there's no other.
I told you I'd fail. It's fine. I've accepted it. I've accepted my memory is the worst.
I mean, we have got confirmation there from Martin W. Bennett played right back. Thought he did.
So look, I thought it was going to be one of these. It was before when I was born. I was going to be like, great.
No, well, I think he was fair. That.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, mate.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go to bed. Yeah, I'm going to bed now.
We're all not. We've got 20 minutes of the Albion game to laugh at, and yeah, Pellegrino has been talked about in the chat as well. So on the whole, not a bad episode, boys. I know you've got Love Island to go and watch first, Josh, but 3-0, just an outlier since we've got Bournemouth and Fulham after tomorrow's win. How many points are we going to end up at the end of March with? By March, sorry.
3 tomorrow, 3 against Bournemouth, point against Fulham.
Excellent. I think that's where I'm going for as well. Do you feel?
Fuck it, I'll get 9. I've already.
That's what I was going to go. I thought, no.
Now, let me tell that out.
That's the spirit. That's the Elianusi spirit.
That's the Elianusi spirit, that is one.
Excellent. So that's us for another week. I think we're back on Sunday, I presume. So Sunday or Monday. There we are. You know where to find us. You'll get pinged anyway when we go live as you usually do if you've got that feature active. So for tonight, it's a goodbye from Josh.
Evening.
Goodbye from a wounded Jafo.
Good evening.
And goodbye from me. Try everyone.
Who would be a Wolves fan, eh?